Hi everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Heritage Arts Podcast. We are Tim and Kayla, owners of Heritage Arts Co., located in Minnesota. This is a podcast all about arts and handcrafts. Today we will be talking about knitting and cross-stitching.
Yeah, well, it's been a very cold, wintry week here in Minnesota.
Very cold.
We got...
Very wintry.
Very wintry. We got 8 inches of snow, did we figure?
Yeah, 8 inches of snow a couple days ago. And then
like 2 or 3 more today, probably. Or maybe less, but it was a lot of ice.
I was going to say, none of it really stayed because there was rain and then ice and thunder and lightning. And
yeah, we got some thunder snow.
Crazy day in Minnesota.
Thankfully, we, besides Tim going into the office a little bit, we haven't had anywhere to be. So that's been nice. Yeah. And it's been kind of fun for our little boy, Noah, to see the snow for the first time. Yeah. That's been pretty fun. So we haven't gotten him out in the snow yet.
Well, you took him out for a second.
Yeah, I took him out for a second last week.
We haven't gotten him out to play in it or anything yet. So.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of part of it here in Minnesota, but this is, I think,
it was earliest snow that was over 3 inches or something like that. And then we had it again today. So crazy year 2020 keeps
2020 just keeps surprising us, huh? So, but it's been a great time to be inside and be cozy with some tea for me and not so much for you. You're not a big fan of tea, but some tea and some crafting. So yeah, what have we been working on this week?
We can hop into our whips. My current whip is still my stocking by Stony Creek, Christmas in the Woods, and I've made some huge progress in the last week. Yeah. I'm going to cover your face here.
Go ahead here. I can just hold it.
Let's bring it in a little bit. So, I believe I just gotten the trees and stuff done last time. Maybe started working on some of these trees, but got the trees all done. The deer is almost done. I just have a couple whites to do in the ears and a couple things there, and then I'm going to do a little of the back stitching on the antlers and on the head a little bit before I move on to the next page. I'm almost done with this page right now, but just so that way I can roll this up and I don't have to roll it back to do back stitching and everything. So I'll probably do...
So you'll do all the back stitching from that page?
Probably not from all that page, just because I'll probably go from the ears up for back stitching and then just roll it up until we're right there.
Gotcha.
I would like to just do all the back stitching on that page just so I can be done with it, but I do think I should
do it continuous kind of with
because I think if I do the antlers right now,
that's kind of separate.
It's a good stopping point to just move on. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay. Well, it's looking so good. It's crazy seeing how quickly you've been getting through that.
Yeah, I was
it took me 4 years to get the top border.
I was gonna show my project cards to. They are.
Do you need a brush or a comb?
Pretty much. So this is one project card that is completely. Oh no, I have one spot left. If you'll hold that, and then I have. Wow, do they make little? I need a little beard comb.
Not for your beard, because you don't really have one, but
for these project cards. So then I have this card that is completely full.
Wow.
And I have a third card that I'm going to be starting too that will probably be full as well. There are so many colors
and
on
you're
this.
Still kind of, are you still reaching back? Like that was the one that you're holding was the first one that you
original
started with.
Yeah.
Are you still reaching back for some of those colors too throughout?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're really working from like all of these.
And I'm almost to the point now where it's almost pointless, I feel, having project cards. Because they're all in Ziploc bags right now, kind of sorted out by color in a little
that you could just go to.
But I do like, these project cards are nice. We write the number and then the symbol on it, so it does make it quicker. I feel like I have some of your hair. Yeah, I do. Probably. The life with
postpartum.
Life with the postpartum wife here. I have hair all over me. That's not mine.
There's hair all over our house. It's disgusting. But if anyone has ever had a baby, you probably know about the postpartum hair struggles. And it doesn't help that I've been rocking, like, I haven't gotten a haircut since, not only before COVID, but I don't think I've gotten a haircut since, like, maybe before we got pregnant.
I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, no, you know what? I did. No one wants to hear about this, but I did get a haircut while I was pregnant because I remember telling my hairstylist that I see once a year that I was pregnant. So anyway, hairs everywhere, floss everywhere.
Yeah. So anyway, here's both the cards. It's just one big jumbled mess. It's a fun jumbled mess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fun sorting through it.
It's fun, yeah.
It's kind of like when you're working on a puzzle and you have all of your different little like piles of categorized puzzle pieces and it looks like just a mess, but then you sort it all out. You don't work like that for puzzles, do you? You just kind of grab
towards the end I do,
okay.
But
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I should have an episode of puzzles.
You could do just a whole episode on puzzles.
I could do like a whole nother podcast on puzzles, I'm sure.
You could, but should you?
No, I really should. I definitely don't have the time for it.
Well, I was watching the 108 Stitches podcast, and Emily was talking about how she and her husband have kind of just a continuous puzzle going.
Continuous puzzle?
That's how most people work on puzzles.
Amateurs.
He'll just sit in an afternoon and just like bust out a couple 1,000-piece puzzle, it seems like. But anyway,
what's so weird about that?
They just kind of take their time with it and aren't obsessive. Yeah, but they take their time with it. But they got a time-lapse camera, she said, and they have the time-lapse camera set up.
That's really cool.
When kind of during times, I think, when they're working on it, and they do that. So I don't know if they have it above or what the situation
really
is, but
cool.
That sounds like kind of a fun thing. But
yeah,
I think that'd be irrelevant with you because it still would be cool actually because you would work on it over the course of several hours.
I could have a video done in a day, including editing.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. So he gets a little obsessive with puzzles.
I also don't really like working with other people on puzzles too much.
Especially not me.
No, because you're horrible at puzzles.
I'm terrible at puzzles. Awful at puzzles. So we don't puzzle together. Yeah. Wasn't there one time that you were working on some like really like a lot of pieces, like really in-depth puzzle, and I pulled out like some NASCAR puzzle that you had from when you were a kid. It was like a Dale Senior puzzle. And I was like, I'm just going to work on this. And it was like 50 pieces.
Just so you could also
just so I could work on a puzzle. Join in the fun.
Don't touch.
But I can't touch his puzzle. So, yeah, you're the puzzle master in this family for sure.
Anyway,
enough puzzle talk.
This
is a knitting and cross stitch podcast. But,
So I think that's primarily my only whip right now.
That's going right now. Yeah. Well, I have so I don't have any new whips quite yet, which means I will soon. I do have, I'm rummaging through my bag like a little squirrel. I do have my cloudburst mitts, and you and I were talking, and you're like, you didn't make any progress on those, did you?
It's the other mitts you didn't make any
those
progress
I still didn't.
Yeah.
Oops. But I did make some progress on my cloudburst mitts. So let me pull these out onto the magic loop. Hold on. It's a little tangled-ish.
Not very magical right now.
It's yeah, less than magical. Okay. So, yes, so I'm working on the cloudburst mitts. Where I have my marker is where I was last week. And so I have gotten another 2 lace repeats done, or maybe 1.5
I feel
there.
the lace is really starting to show.
It is. And actually, I should kind of put it on so you can see it against my ghostly white skin tone. And I think, yeah, you can kind of see it even more. I don't know. It's pretty. So yeah, I made some progress. I not only made it through another lace repeat and a half, but I also started the thumb gusset. So you can start to see that taking shape like for a hand. So I got to the end of the thumb gusset kind of section to where I will now, I think, be splitting off and working the rest of like the palm before I do the little thumb, the full thumb gusset. So yeah, making good progress on this one. This is the first of the 2 mitts that I'll make. And so yeah, I'm doing those one at a time on just some bamboo circular needles, working in magic loop for that kind of small circumference knitting. Yeah, so that's those. I'm very happy with how those are coming out. And I didn't mention it's Knit Picks palette, and I really like working with Knit Picks palette. I like working with it. It's a kind of woolly wool, but still very fine and light, and it always just feels very squishy when I'm done with it. So, still did not make any progress on my straightforward mitts. Those are the ones that I had started working 2 at a time, and I'm probably not going to work 2 at a time. So I think just once I finish this first mitt of the cloudburst, I'm going to go work one of the straightforward mitt and then kind of switch back and forth just to keep it interesting. And finally, my last whip that is still a whip. Barely. And, yeah. And I'm looking forward, hopefully, to next week for it being a finished object. I think it will be. So that is my faux set crop, which I am now confidently saying is a faux set crop because I did decide to crop it. So I had talked last week and previous weeks about how I was not sure if I wanted to knit it as a crop as it's originally designed, or if I wanted to knit it to a fuller length. Well, I took some time this weekend and I went through my closet and just tried to find some things that I thought I would wear it as a crop with.
I think it was just an excuse to go through her clothes again.
Well, yes, they need some organization. I've been doing better with that though. So I did find several shirts actually, and a dress, all that I think I would like to wear it cropped with. So I will be showing probably those maybe next week. I might wear it if it's a finished object. I'm hoping I'll wear it. So I did decide I could probably do it cropped, and so I'm just on the bottom ribbing now. So I'm very, very close. I have maybe 1 or 2 more rows of ribbing on the bottom and then the bind off. And then I need to go back and do the little sleeves, the little sleeve ribbing. So the little sleeve ribbing will also be in this teal. So,
this is going to be around here too?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think that'll be a really pretty contrast against that too. So yeah, very happy to be having this almost off the needles. I'm just very excited to wear it. And especially now that I have found some things that I definitely want to wear it with. I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I think that's kind of a unique challenge of knitting. If you're knitting garments, is making sure that you're knitting things that you're actually going to wear, because you spend a lot of time knitting them, and it would be a shame if you don't wear them. So I try to be intentional about picking out patterns now that I will wear and that will fit into my wardrobe. And I think this sweater, if you kind of can recall some of the stuff I said previous, I have this hinterland dress that I really want to sew to wear with it, but like I don't have it sewn. I don't even have it. I don't have the fabric. I do have the pattern.
Okay.
I do have the pattern. Because it was on sale when she re-released it with some new and updated sizes. So I do have the pattern, but I don't have the fabric. I don't really have any like aspirations of buying the fabric anytime soon.
Do you even know what color fabric you want?
Yeah, I do a black or a charcoal linen. Okay. And I even have a couple different ones that I've kind of scouted out on fabric.com that I would want to do it with, but it's either a full linen or a linen and cotton blend, which either way is going to be a bit of an investment. So it's just kind of, I don't want to buy it until I know I'm going to make it.
Yep. And
if you could see closer at those sewing machines, there's some dust on them. So I'm not super confident in myself yet. But I do still have the aspirations to make that, and I think I will. But I think that, where was I going with that?
I have no idea.
Oh, I think I was just going with, when you're picking out things to knit, I think it is good to look at your wardrobe ahead of time, your actual wardrobe, not your aspirational wardrobe. Look at what your actual wardrobe is and knit things that'll fit into it. So I have found things that will work with this, so I am really excited to be able to wear it. But I was a little worried for a couple days there till I really got into it to make sure that I wasn't just knitting this and then not going to have anything to wear it with. But I digress. I ramble.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. Okay, so that was my whip. Almost an FO. It'll be an FO next week. I have confidence in that. So on to our actual FOs.
FOs. That's your...
Yeah, that's
my
really graceful transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, isn't there like some weird like hand motion for like an awkward transition?
Oh, like an awkward turtle?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or like an awkward turkey?
Anyway.
Wow.
FOs today. So if you watched last week's podcast, I put out 2 cross stitch patterns, and thank you to the few people that have bought them so far. Yeah. They are on our Etsy page, which will be linked.
Yeah, we have a link in the description.
In our description below, and they are part of our You Are Here collection. And this week I decided on making a couple more patterns. So I had a comment on one of my I brought it up. When Tim when he had the Instagram post showing his You Are Here collection, the first 2 patterns, he had someone comment, Chris _cross_stitch, we'll have it right there, had said that these would be cute to make into Christmas ornaments with some snow on the ground. So it was always kind of the intent that these would be like the little 3-inch hoops, that they would be ornaments, but we just thought that was a really great idea of making it into a Christmas thing. And in their comment, they said, feel free to use this. So we're not stealing it necessarily, but we are going to be sending Chris Cross Stitch a copy of these patterns as a thank you for this great inspiration. So Tim will show these off. The first one that I made, if you can see it says, excuse our poor printer.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with the printer.
So here's one of my new patterns. It says North Pole on there, the little snowman, and we put it on a I guess I don't know the color.
Kind of a blue or a navy Aida cloth, I think you could do it on.
Yep. And it really brings out the French knot snowflakes that I have on there. Yeah. And I really thought this turned out super cute.
I think it's really cute.
And another 3-inch, this is on a 3-inch hoop again, Christmas ornament size, 14 count Ada cloth with a 2 strands of floss. So pretty simple, straightforward pattern, as long as you know how to backstitch and regular cross stitch and do some French knots.
Quarter or half stitch or whatever those are. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there are some half stitches on here too. That's right. Yep.
Are they half stitch or quarter stitch? I don't know the difference.
I think they're half stitch.
Half stitch. Okay.
Pretty sure.
we know what we're talking about here.
Anyway, this one.
You turn to the expert.
Super cute. And
yeah, so that is definitely like very congruent with the street sign one that you released last week.
Yep.
Where you might customize your own street name, but this one is just kind of a standard North Pole, which I thought was cute.
And then my other one is a Santa Stop Here sign, which is also super cute. I designed this one to have it kind of look like a cardboard sign that a little kid might have drew on the Santa Stop Here.
Yeah.
So I did the backstitch lettering a little
wonky,
like a kid would have written it. Same 3-inch hoop, 14 count Ada cloth, 2 strands of floss.
Yeah.
There's some French knots, some backstitching, some half stitches. But very straightforward, same type of color blue for the background. So it's not a fill in the blue. It's designed to have a blue Ada cloth with the white would be
the background.
Yep. Yeah. So these will be, by the time this is uploaded, these will be available on our Etsy site.
$2 a piece.
$2 a piece.
Just like last time.
Yep. So head on over there, check it out. Check out our other patterns and other stuff we have. Our Etsy store is getting a little picked over right now.
So, kind of funny story. When it was like, I guess it was probably Sunday when we had released the other two, the first 2 patterns. We got all excited because we're like, oh, we got some Etsy sales. And we thought that they were the patterns on that day. It turned out it was a random watercolor painting that I had in the shop for kind of a long time. And it was a shawl pin. Yeah, and
one of my shawl pins that I made, which I think there's still 2 shawl pins left.
There's still 2 left. Yep. But the one that sold Sunday was the last of the round shawl pins. Yep. So there's just the hearts left.
I do plan to make more. But as we said, there's 8 inches of snow outside and my shop isn't insulated, so
it'll maybe be a springtime thing.
Yeah, might wait till next spring before we restock those.
Yeah.
That's my that's my only FO
well,
this week.
Here, I have one that I can loan you.
Oh, thank you.
So, speaking of shawl pins, this actually, what I'm wearing here is the first shawl pin that Tim made me, so I will take that off, and you can show that off as your FO now.
So, it's a little acorn with
little contoured kind of pin that goes.
If you can kind of see, it's hooked there.
Yeah.
Made out of some white oak with just a simple wax finish on it to protect it. Why did I make this again?
I think you just made it because I had talked about that shawl pins are a thing. And you got on Pinterest and you're like, oh, I could make these. And so you made me one.
Yeah.
And And
it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it's really cute.
We didn't have any of these for sale.
No,
on
we didn't
our
do any
Etsy
of the
shop.
acorns for sale. But
this took forever, and it made me want to not, because I make it by hand, so this isn't like laser
it's
cut
or like CNC.
Yeah, it's not cut
like
on
that.
a CNC. This
Did you use your scroll saw on that?
Yeah, I used my scroll saw on this, and because of that and all the sanding,
it's pretty labor intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's really cute.
Probably won't see any of the acorns in the shop. I'm sorry to announce, but
unless you're willing to pay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. So you had given it to me though, kind of for my birthday, but you gave it to me before my birthday because you're like,
I can't wait.
I can't wait. Yeah. So you gave it to me early, but yeah. So that is, I've worn that with this shawl quite a bit, and so that brings me to my first FO. Which, this is obviously not a recent FO, but it is one kind of from the archives. So this is a shawl, actually, that I need to, like, kind of squat. Yeah. This is going to kill my quads. Is that what these are? Quads? My thighs? Anyway, so this shawl is actually one that I designed myself. And I kind of just designed it as I went, as I was knitting it.
Is this the Door County one?
It is. Yep. I'm getting there.
Is that the name of it or something?
No, I don't know what the name of it is going to be. I think I had some ideas written down, but I don't remember it now. So this shawl, like I said, I kind of just worked this and designed it as I went. And I am going to be writing up a pattern for it. So I'm actually not going to show like a ton of it. But I will show just some parts. So this yarn this is from Wonderland Yarns, and it is, I believe the colorway is Nest of Glad. You know what? I have the label. Hold on.
You do?
I do. It's like I'm actually a prepared podcaster, but I'm not.
In a pile of labels.
These are all the labels. These are all the labels I should have been showing all along. Like, this is for the Faucette Crop from Brian Dye Works. I got some other random ones, but anyway.
Do you have the label?
I do have the label. Okay. So Wonderland Yarns, and it is in the colorway Nest of Gladness. It's in their merino cashmere nylon base, and so it's very, very soft.
It's very soft.
It's very soft. I bought this yarn when we were, we had kind of a long weekend vacation in Door County, Door County, Wisconsin, U.S., North America.
Hey, there's people.
I suppose there's people that don't know Door County.
We know of people who live in Texas. They don't know it's Door County, Wisconsin.
Maybe they do.
Oh.
I don't know. Oh. Anyway, so Door County, Wisconsin. So we were vacationing there with my parents last summer, and it was really like days after we found out that we were pregnant.
The day after
we found out we were pregnant with Noah. And so, but we weren't even telling my parents.
Oh, that was really hard.
Which was almost impossible.
And within the first 2 minutes of seeing your mom, she said, "You guys pregnant?
Are you pregnant?"
We're like, where'd that come from?
No, of course not. We totally were. So, and I remember that whole trip being so anxious, not just because of not being able to like tell my parents quite yet, but just the early days of pregnancy are so anxiety inducing, I feel. I mean, that can happen at any time during pregnancy, after pregnancy, whatever, but I know I had just such a hard time the whole first trimester, I think.
I don't think I've really studied this pattern. This is really pretty.
Thank you. She was not known in her own house. What was that? Oh, God, I'm stupid. Why am I even talking? It was
This is a podcast. You talk, and
I know.
That's how these things
I was trying
work.
to make a joke, and I don't even know what joke I'm trying to make. It was going to be a really deep Bible cut, and we're just not going to go there. Okay. Right. Anyway, So basically, I was just trying to say, like, that even the people in my own house don't realize how amazing I am. And humble. Okay, so anyway. Wow, we have gotten so off track.
Yep.
I have gotten so off track. I've gotten us so off track. So anyway, this Wonderland Fibers, Wonderland Yarns, I bought at a shop in Door County. All that to say. In Bailey's Harbor. It's called Knitwits. And so I purchased that, and I just remember, like I said, I was very anxious that whole trip. And so being able to go and squish some yarn definitely helped. And I kind of picked this yarn out with the intent of it being a project that would just remind me of that trip and remind me of that time, all the good and exciting and scary and everything of it. So I had started working on it pretty shortly after that, but I didn't really finish it until just weeks before Noah was born. And speaking of, I do have a picture of me wearing this shawl almost immediately after it was finished in this same shirt, but with like a 9-month pregnant belly. So we're definitely going to put that right here. Because it was a sight to see. So, so yes. So like I said, I knitted in this, Wonderland Fibers. And then as I was designing, I kind of wanted to have this little bit of a reminiscent of like a lace edge. And so, this pattern has a lot of eyelet design in it. So some kind of diamond eyelet, patterns, and just some standalone eyelets, some kind of, just some kind of lacy looking kind of things. So, I wanted the bottom to look like a delicate lace, but I'm not a super lacy person. Like, I don't really ever wear frilly lacy things, but I think that the simplicity and, just the simplicity of this bottom lacework design is really nice, and doing it in that contrast color, I felt made it stand out and look lacy, but not too delicate or too frilly or too fussy. So I am going to be, like I said, making this into a pattern, and I think in my pattern it will intentionally have this contrasting color edging on it, but certainly someone could just do it all in one color as well. So it was a very relaxing kind of knit to work on. There's stockinette, there's some garter bands, kind of as you go down between the different sections. And then like I said, this kind of ending border with a little picot edge. And so this is my FO, but it's also kind of a whip. So I shared last week about the Make 9 challenge or Make 9 not challenge 2020. Wow. Make 9 2020 Mal. Hosted by Amy of Noble Character Crafts. And so when I shared my Make 9 grid on Instagram this last week, I included this as kind of one of my Make 9 ones that I want to focus on. So making the pattern more than making the actual piece. But so that's going to be something I'm hoping I will be able to work on the pattern and have that released by the end of the year is my goal.
It makes sense in your Make 9 then.
Well, yeah. I haven't committed to finishing everything on Make 9, but yeah, that's the goal anyway. So, Oh, and then the thing I forgot to mention is that this border that I included here is in a different yarn. This is by Reiwa Fibers, and Reiwa Fibers is a yarn producer, I guess, that they use yak yarn, yak fiber, and this, I believe, so this is the Reiwa Harmony. I do have the label for this as well. So Reiwa Harmony.
It's hard tonight.
It's really hard, you guys. Okay. Reiwa Harmony. It is 50% yak, 50% wool. And this is also a very, very soft yarn. The yak down is super, super soft. So this actually, I had won in a giveaway. I had won this yarn. So I have 2 other colors of it. But I just thought this white kind of bone color was perfect for that little lacy edge. And it's even softer, I think. Do you think it's softer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even softer than the MCN base. So, so just a really kind of luxurious little shawl that just has a lot of special memories for me. So. And
Noah is now drooling.
And now, yes, I kind of let him. I don't know. I see that as part of it too. So I don't mind when he kind of grabs and plays with it. But yeah, so look for that. I will be updating everyone kind of as I start working on that pattern some more. I probably will be, because I am going to be writing the pattern just from my notes and not re-knitting it, I probably will be looking for a couple test knitters to knit some samples and kind of get that first crack at the pattern. But we'll see when that comes about, whenever I actually get the pattern written. So that's an FO and a whip a little bit. So with that, actually though, I have another little archived FO that I'm showing off, and that is a little bird of happiness. It's called, the pattern I should say is called Bluebird of Happiness. And so it's just this little stuffed bird, that is knit up, and I used some of the leftovers from both of those yarns that I used in the shawl, marled them together and made the little bird of happiness. And then I stuff it with wool, with the same kind of wool stuffing that I've used for little toys. So yeah, it was just kind of a fun little thing to do with the scraps, and they're super cute. So then getting into another couple archived FOs, we'll put I guess I could show it on my phone here. So I also made another one of those little bluebirds of happiness, with some leftovers from the shawl that I made my mom for Christmas last year. And that one turned out really cute as well. So this is, I know, really good content is me like scrolling through my phone.
Well, our furnace is kicking on. Not sure if you can hear that or not. You might be able to.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
This has got to be our best podcast yet, right, guys? Okay. So, the shawl that I made my mom last year for Christmas is called the Down Home Shawl, and that is designed by Alicia Plummer. And so, sorry for the glare, but I think you can see it there. That is another shawl that kind of has a lot of stockinette, some garter ridges, some eyelets, and just a lot going on with that. So I knit that in the Lolo Did It Cornucopia color. And then that is also what I'm knitting some mitts out of this year. So we're getting a lot of use out of that color. But I also then did a little Bluebird of Happiness out of that. And I thought that one just turned out so cute. They put it as, I gave it to my mom.
But it's not blue.
Well, it's not blue, but I'm sure the original one was blue. Now it's just a bird of happiness. So that one I knit up and gave to my mom with her shawl for Christmas. And so that's a little ornament on their Christmas tree now. And so a couple more little FOs there. But I think that's all. I think that's all that I have for FOs. So a couple shawls, a couple birds, and a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of rambling.
Do you hear that noise?
Oh. It's not the furnace, is it?
No.
No.
It's Kayla's Christmas list.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Kayla's Christmas list. So, Kayla's Christmas list, I like to share just something that I've seen knitting related, fiber related, crafting related, that I want to put on my Christmas list for this year. Tim and I are getting each kind of a crafty indulgence kind of gift. But Tim's not very good at keeping track of what I want. So to be fair, I'm not great at keeping track of what he wants either, but I am a little better on the fly. So I can generally come up with something really good. You just draw a blank and you're like, can you buy yourself a gift? Yeah, you can't argue with that. So this year, I am documenting my Christmas list here on the podcast, and I thought that it would be great to be able to highlight a couple makers and just to bring some extra attention to them so that you guys might want to put them on your Christmas list as well. So today, my Christmas list entry is something that is not actually available yet, but it will be.
Perfect. Give me time to actually think about it.
Yes. So this week, my Christmas list entry is the Gingerbread colorway from a Homespun house. I think she typically has it available on a number of her bases. I would probably take it on any base, but the soft sock base would probably be my preference. It's a 75-25 merino nylon. Great for socks, soft socks. And so this gingerbread color, which we'll put over here, is one of her seasonal colors. So it is not yet available in her shop, but it will be soon. And there is our sun. So we're gonna take a quick pause and we'll be back. And we're back.
There's only a second for them.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was like no time at all. Anyway, so where we left off was Kayla's Christmas list. I was just talking about the gingerbread colorway from a Homespun house. It's part of her holiday collection, so I'm not sure when exactly she'll be releasing it, but it will be, I'm sure, within the coming weeks to month or so. So we'll put a little picture over here. I think we said we'll put a picture of the actual colorway. Well, actually, rather than putting a picture here, I will just show a couple of one of the pictures anyway that kind of shows it knit up. So this I just kind of grabbed from Ravelry, a user named 4Girls, and this was the pair of socks that they knit up using the gingerbread colorway. So I just think that's really pretty. It's almost a little bit of a micro stripe, but not like a full micro stripe, and kind of speckly and just very representative of Molly's unique dyeing style. She does some really neat colorways. So gingerbread is my official entry.
All right.
Yeah, I would love to knit a pair of socks or something with that. So that's that. So I guess moving on, we're onto our scouting section. So things that are upcoming that we're looking at either for the near or far future.
So last week I had used this as my scouting. It's still upcoming. It's the Arranging Tools by Ink Circles.
Yep.
Kind of show that there.
Yeah.
So it is coming even closer now. Before we started recording this, I actually bought the linen. So
you bought it.
Well, I had somebody buy it for me.
I'm the one with the Etsy account. What can you say?
Yeah, so this is on a 30 count beige linen.
Mm-hmm. And they recommended Weeks Dye Works, right?
Yeah.
But we had a really hard time finding. You couldn't find any.
Couldn't find any 30 count beige linen from Weeks. The only 30 count from Weeks that I could find was a dark coffee brown or something that, which it wouldn't have looked good with this. Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
so it wouldn't have looked good with the other pattern that you bought me too from Ink Circles. So I'm going to use beige for both. The other one had a little different color to it for the linen, but I'm going to use beige for both of them. They're more than likely going to be near each other anyway, so I want them to kind of match. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest, the brand that we ended up buying that you bought as a substitute for Weeks, but it was another just kind of beige, even weave linen, it looked like. So that should hopefully come, and then you'll be able to start that. I think we need to buy 2 different colors of floss, but
okay.
We'll get that. I mean, here's a little insight to our life. I have to buy tires for my truck this week, so we have to go out and go to a store actually.
Well, yeah, we actually do have to go to buy the tires, but
so seeing as we're going to be out and about,
Michael's nearby that we can do probably a pickup order.
And then the other thing that's kind of on the horizon for me is just designing some more patterns.
A couple more ideas.
Yeah, is that just what we want to say? Just a couple more ideas for now?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. Just a couple more ideas.
Well, I have a lot of ideas.
Well, and you have one that you are actually working on in Max Stitch right now.
Yes.
Still, and then you have a couple that you've started a little bit, but still need to kind of flesh out the ideas.
Yeah, there's... Yeah. What a great podcast
Good content.
This is. Yeah.
Gosh.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on.
This is probably going to get the most views on any of our podcasts.
Probably.
For being the worst. That's how it goes.
So I do
or it won't get any.
I do have more patterns in the works anyway, and you'll be seeing those in future podcasts and on my Instagram account as well.
Yeah. Yep. So what I'm scouting right now, last week I shared, and earlier in this podcast, I shared about the Make 9 2020 Mal, the Make Along hosted by Noble Character Crafts. And so that's what a lot of my scouting is right now, is those patterns that I've included there. I'm kind of using that. I joined the Make Along late, but I'm just kind of using it as a guide to make sure I stay on track for what I want to do for the rest of 2020. So I shared a pair of socks last week and a little hat last week that are on my Make 9 grid, but you can go to my Instagram, Heritage Arts Co., and look at all the patterns that are on my Make 9 grid. But I'm just going to share a couple more today. So one of the patterns that I had was Lottie's Booties is the name of it. Another little pair of kind of baby infant booties that I want to make for Noah with his ever-growing feet that don't fit into any socks. I wanted to make him some little woolly kind of booties. So Lottie's Booties is designed by Lisa of Dole Valley Knits or Dole Valley Girl Knits. I have the pattern right here. Dole Valley Girl Knits, yes. So Lisa is the designer's name, and she designed these adorable little booties. Again, terrible printing. We don't know what's going on with the printer, but super cute little booties that kind of have like a little bit of a basket weave detail on the top of the foot, and they look, I don't know, they kind of look a little like moccasins, I guess. But I just think they will be super cute for Noah. So they are in worsted weight. So I had these on my Make 9 grid, and Lisa actually messaged me and offered to gift me the pattern. So that was very kind of her to do that. So I probably will be casting those on sooner than I had planned, since I now have the pattern. So those are actually probably going to be coming up pretty soon here. I think once I get my faux set crop off the needles, I probably will be picking these up as kind of my worsted weight project on the needles. I can't talk. My worsted weight project on the needles. I kind of like to have a variety of different weights and needle sizes that I'm working on at any given time, just to, I don't know, just to kind of vary it. You know, sometimes if you work on one thing for too long, on especially really fine needles, or in my case, I have a lot of trouble working with really heavyweight yarns for a long time. So I just like having a variety. So these will probably be on the needles pretty soon. I did pick out, well, I shouldn't say, I did not pick out a color. I pulled out my worsted weight stash of the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. I have several colors of that right now that were left over from when I made Noah's little cribmobile with cribmobile. It's not a cribmobile.
It's like the Batmobile.
It's like the Batmobile, but a crib. You guys, it's so hard tonight. So the crib the mobile for the crib that I made the little stuffed animals, I used Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted weight. So I have a fair bit of that left because they each only used a tiny bit of yarn. So I pulled out a couple colors this afternoon that I was thinking might be nice, and I kind of like jokingly.
Oh, excuse the yawn. That is, I have been holding that yawn in for a long time. It's not your content.
No,
it is the it is the fact that I don't get much sleep either.
No.
With a 5-month-old,
Yeah.
5.5-month-old.
Yeah. You get like this much more sleep than me at night.
But then you take a nap.
But then
during the
I
day.
take a nap during the day.
Yeah.
Not every day, but I did get one today.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I had several colors, and I kind of jokingly put them next to Noah. I was like, which looks better with his skin tone? And all of a sudden, he like grabbed for this one and started gnawing on it. So I was like, well, I guess he picked out this color. So this color picked out by our 5-month-old son, Noah, is Camel Heather in the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. So I will be knitting up the Lottie's booties with this, and I think that'll be super cute. So that's coming up pretty soon. This next one might be coming up soon. We'll just kind of see. Another one of the items on my Make 9 is the Piece of Silver sweater designed by Vera Valimaki. And this is a sweater that I have had on my like Ravelry queue for, it has to be over a year that I've had it on there. And I actually have all the yarn already purchased for it. Again, I think I bought it like over a year ago. And so I bought this yarn from Knit Picks during one of their kind of bigger sales. And it is the Capretta Superwash, and their kind of hand painted line. So, the colorway is called Kerns, and it's kind of this like purpley, plummy, gray, brown.
I think it shows really nice.
Yeah, it does. Look at, oh man, it's so pretty, you guys. So this is the yarn I'm going to be knitting that out of. Capretta is I think an MCN, yeah, merino cashmere nylon blend. So I think it'll again be a pretty kind of luxurious sweater, I guess. Is that cashmere? Well, not all cashmere, just a little bit, but yeah, so I have the yarn. I don't remember if I have the pattern. I think I might even have the pattern. So this is probably going to be the next sweater that I'll cast on after I finish my full set. That also Piece of Silver is kind of a turtleneck, a looser turtleneck, not like a tight turtleneck, but a looser turtleneck. I believe the original design is also cropped, but I probably will not be making this one cropped. This one will be closer to a full length. But yeah, just a really simple classic sweater, and I think it'll be really pretty in this colorway. Will it be pretty on me?
I think everything's pretty.
There you go. There you go. So
that's not even in our notes.
That's I'm wrong. Forgive me. That's not even on the teleprompter, you guys. So yeah, I'll probably cast this on pretty quickly, I think, after, because it'll be nice to just have that kind of bigger project on the needles as well. So yeah, so Lottie's Booties and Piece of Silver, those are kind of my next two upcoming ones from my Make 9 2020 Mal. And I'm excited to start something new. I'm excited to wear my full set crop. That'll be kind of my first thing that I actually check off of my Make 9 Mal. And then I'm excited to just kind of keep making progress on that. So yeah, that's that.
All right.
Is that kind of all we have for today?
I think so.
That's all we have.
Along with all of our ramblings.
Yeah,
and
I know. Is this going to be our longest podcast?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's good. But yeah, nothing else for today. So thank you all for joining us. We'll be back every Sunday to talk more about all things handcrafted. If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel. Also, turn the bell on if you want to be notified every time that we post a new video. You can find us on Ravelry, Instagram, and our website at heritageartsco.com, and we'll include links to everything below in the description. Keep on crafting!